Hello everybody, that is here. Welcome to my final episode for my retro build. My computer is complete. I still needed to perform a couple tasks which I mentioned later, but I can't afford to keep this beast at the office anymore because I'm so much behind on lots of tasks that I perform on my main rig. I'm not even talking about videos, and that videos that you're watching right now, when this will be released, this will be done on this computer. But even some banners I need for forum and things like this, so all my graphics sits inside of this system. I really need it. I'm going to shoot this video, make a bunch of pictures and bring it home. You probably hear the system pretty loud, and the reason for that that all fans are set on the maximum. We have 3 gentle typhoons here, 1850 RPMs PWM. I have 2 gentle typhoons on my hard drive cages on the front, but those 1150 you barely can hear them. And we still have, I try to be careful here because now I have wires, and we have those 92mm original fans that came with a case, which I put in place as well. The main offenders for the noise are 92mm fans. They produce the most of the noise, and if I'll kill them, you can hear it's like literally half of the noise gone, because now all those back fans not really working. I'm going to underwall them. Also, I got in a little problem here, to be honest with you. If I put it a little bit, one of them is rattling. So maybe I will just disconnect one fan and keep only one of them running, because realistically I have more out than in, so it's like negative pressure, which means that lots of holes will cover with dust eventually, which is not a very good thing, but we'll see. We'll go about the back one, but for the visuals and looks, I wanted to complete it as it completed right now. So I put system in work for some time now, second day, and for reason for that when you initially run the system, it doesn't matter how much you clean your stuff, there's occasional shaving from O-rings or some crap from radiator, keep washing out. And for that reason you can see on the front this little like silver cylinder under the GPU. This is a filter. And I'm not going to keep this filter on because eventually it just hinder your flow, hinder your performance, and you don't really need it. I'm actually planning to replace it with straight black tubing, because it will be doing a job essentially only for maybe like a week of continuous running, and after that it makes no difference. And already when I filled the system basically 2 days ago, my flow meter reading was 4.3 liters per minute. Right now I already dropped to 3.5 or 3.9. A little bit junk already get caught in the net, and it's lowering my performance. But it's process, what I'm trying to tell you is this process, it's not like never-ending process. It starts in the beginning, in a few days you collect all the junk, and after that it stabilizes. In the past I actually did the same thing, but sometimes I remove CPU and clean CPU after a couple of weeks, and after that it was hunky-dory, but it's a little bit hassle type of exercise. It's much easier to put a filter. So that part will be gone. I will drain the system, remove the filter, put straight tubing in place, which I already assembled, pre-cut, and everything is ready to go. And I also will put some dust mold protector, which I don't have right now. I'm run completely out, everything sold out. I use it myself for most of my recent systems. I decide against any color, so it will be clean liquid. I just need that additive to arrive in stock, and it's probably about 2 weeks away. So, but we'll see. 2 weeks on distilled water, nothing really happened. Or maybe I will add some older protectors that I have, like half a bottle, but it's not really enough, so I'm not sure what to do here. But definitely not going to put other type of liquids, because mixing liquids is never a good idea. So what we have here, I keep Metro Exodus running for a little bit. It's pretty crappy program actually. Even if you're not playing it like on menu mode, it's actually still cranking 3 sources from your GPU and CPU, and I even can feel that the air is coming out of the system a little bit warm. And my liquid temperature, if I look, it's too bright here. Alright, so my liquid temperature right now is 38 and 2. When I run my system like idle without running game, it drops down to 29. So you can see I got almost 10 degrees up because this thing is just chewing resources, doing nothing really, not even gaming here. But that's what's happening. And we actually can look quickly what my temperatures are. Sorry guys, oh, I have to turn monitor because I can't really see, but I'll tell you in a second. Alright, so my CPUs right now, they're like going like 32% utilization, doing nothing or something, who God knows. The temperatures for CPU is about 45 degrees right now, Celsius. Different mobile parts, 31, 40 degrees. My memory, about 36 degrees right now. And my GPU, 37, 33, 45. So okay, so we'll go, let's say 45 degrees. Not overclocked anything, it's just 3.6 gigahertz, I believe. Yeah, 3.7 stock speeds and things like that. So what I'm going to do next, almost fell. I'm going to shut down. It's a little bit slow, so maybe I'll take a pause or cut my video. And we'll open panel and I'll give you a little scoop on the final touches that I did on the system. One of them, while it's working, you can see that dominator memory that was nicely supported to me from a Corsair, my friends at Corsair. So to give me a limited edition silver plated dominator RAM. It's coming with the non-RGB lights, it's one color only, and it's a kind of bluish white. So what I did, I put the remaining of the lights in the system, which only a few. My GPU, a little bit on motherboard, and I highlighted logo as I did last time, so this LED running right there, shining a little bit down, a little bit up. You can't see it now because it's too light, but when it's dark, I have a little bit of light coming on my power supply and grills on those fans, which looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, I can't show it at this point. And so I all mesh up the same, more or less the same color, and you can see that it's a minimum amount of lights, but at least it's a uniform in its color. And blue is fine with me because on the front I have a certain parts which is blue anyway, so overall my OCD rests fine. So when I remove the panel, I have to disconnect LEDs. That's why I wanted to tell you about that in a second. So let's shut down the computer. We'll look on all the parts which is we don't need computer running for. We'll talk about all watercooling and things like this. Come on, shut down, please. Yeah. Takes a little bit time for this system. Oh my god, it's like so quiet now. It's almost ringing my ears. Unbelievable. So let's look on the front for a little bit. I don't even have it bolted. Scratched a little bit my panel, so a couple notches get highlighted by LED when it's certain angle. When you see it, you can't see it, but when you stand up under this angle, you can see a couple scratches here and there. Also, you may notice, maybe not notice, I move window from the front, which was in the beginning, now on the back. And that's allow me to put LED under the plastic glass and highlight the logo. So I put the full length dark side LED, cut it 50 centimeters, it was like this long, cut a little bit so it's all the way. And this allows me to highlight components below as well. So let's remove this kind of cable. And that's what I'm talking about. So this LED just sits under the panel and shines through the plastic up and a little bit down because it's on the angle. So that's what we have here. Now, let me move it. I prefer to stand on this side rather than the other side. So since last time, this is the only minor changes what happened. So finally I mount PCU, wired all cables, which was the major pain in the ass. Put cages in place, replace fans, stock fans, whatever there was, very noisy, with the slowest possible gentle typhoons, which is totally silent, pretty like that part. For reservoir, you can see this is this post that if I knew, I probably moved this post to another place because I didn't like this hole, but I thought I will have LED here, but I put it in, check it out, didn't really like how it looked, don't think it's bring any additional benefit highlighting anything with this heat killer tube, so I decided just don't do it, and because it's required, completely remove the thing and drain it. If I disassemble entire thing to move in post another position and just let it be. I think I already mentioned that pump I also painted the same color as any other component, so it's kind of, I think it's nicer. This part was a little bit too shiny for my taste, so I put some filter material, some mesh that I salvaged from the same case that I took the grill from the behind. This was another part of the case that was ruined anyways. So black material basically on the shelf actually makes look things better. Otherwise it's a little bit too shiny and too much of white stuff. So I hope you agree with me. There's no like special things, it's just a little bit of masking things around. Cables, the same as I had in a baby blue, so I just reuse them. So the same pattern, it perfectly match silver system anyway. So I have a graphite metallic and a titanium gray combination. For the GPU, again, I use the same one cable from baby blue and one cable I decided to go black because otherwise it was a little bit too much highlight, which I didn't want, especially because right now I have this cylinder for the filter, but eventually it will be just a black line here, so it will be very discreet. I didn't want it to have too much cables here, it's no point. One problem I run, that one thing this case really liking, I absolutely love this build, but in terms of cable management, it was a nightmare. You cannot basically run any cables unless you go in the holes on the bottom or between motherboard tray and holes there that allows you to go through. It was really messy, so I essentially had to run my PSU power all the way around, like with big extension cable, or I have to run basically in front of my GPU, which obviously not the way you want it. So I put it here. It's actually on a Velcro, but it just get disconnected, detached right now. So yeah, so it's hidden like this. So this cable is very long, and there was a little bit of trouble that I scratched my head a little bit. So you remember that I was a little bit bitching about those two devices sticking out for CD-ROM and that shelf thingy. So what I did, I just used the covers from the front that I don't use. I put 3 of them up, and I think it looks a little bit better. I could put one more, but I don't think it looks good. So this was good enough for me to kind of to make it a little bit more balanced visually from in my eyes. And well, still need to work out on a bunch of fingerprints that still left on this, on all those blocks. I don't know if you can see them, but they look pretty awful from my perspective. And there's a few minor things that blue screws everywhere. You can't really see it when panel installed, but when I take panel out, it's kind of make me feel better, if you will. I use all extensions for 3.0 USB cable, so it's all black. I already mentioned that I sleeved and put cable for all motherboard connections, like front, so those power button and all this stuff, LED for status, how hard drives works. And in terms of hardware, I already said I have Dominator 2080 Ti, and there's another 1 terabyte SSD from Intel 750 that I had for a while, so I decided to to put it in. I probably will use this drive to dedicate it for videos only, because that's a little bit, you need quick read and writes in that particular department. And the main operating system sits on a rated Samsung 760s, I think that's the model, which is a M.2s. One is right there, you can see that or other one is right behind the GPU, so you cannot see it. Another position for M.2 is empty, so I don't use it. There's also two old hard drives, 4 terabyte each. They located behind this cage. It's just for temporary storage, because sometimes I need to go review old videos, but I'm not ready to retire them, but at the same time I might need them, so this will be like a dumping place for old files, graphics and videos. So let's look on other side quickly before we finish this up. So before I take panel, I would like to bring your attention to one thing. So one thing I didn't like, that the panel is silver and there's a gap between this cage and motherboard tray, and this was like white line going on. I didn't like how it looked, so what I did, I masked it with a filter basically. I will show you in a second. When I take the panel out, you can see that. So yeah, just little piece of filter that I have lying around. I put it there. I also put filter on that mesh for the reason that it's a little bit too transparent and you can see a bunch of ugly cables, because this is, you know guys, I'm not big on cables, so you know it, right? So I could sleeve everything, could like spend another freaking week or two doing that. I decided I don't. So yeah, that's what's happening here. So this is all my wires for the fans, motherboard, CPU can't see because it's coming from here, and there's a bunch of cables that's coming from the power supply itself. So some of them I hide in empty cage that I don't have because HDDs are there. And if I don't have additional filter on the side panel, you can see all this business going on, and it's pretty ugly. Not like I can see it because I see on the other side of the computer, but nevertheless, I just wanted it to look a certain way and I did. So you can see the cable management suck. I'm pretty sure majority of you can do absolutely fabulous job to make it absolutely neat. I consider it's personally a waste of time. I want to see it from where I can see it, and I don't care less about any part that I cannot see. If I will do it for customer, maybe I'll spend. For myself, just waste of my time. I want my computer back. So you see guys, that's basically how the system was completed. Ready to go to my home. I was a little bit shocked to see that my card is full when I finished filming, so now I have to repeat a couple final words that was left out, luckily not too much. So guys, that's final result. Like anything, feel free to follow my lead, evolve it further. You dislike, you want something more flashy, it's fine too. That's why it's called modding. We do our own vision, we create our own vision, and we implement it in actual tangible things. So guys, thank you for following me on this build. I have possibly new thing coming out which will be much more colorful, but I will tell you when things will solidify. Right now we'll make a bunch of pictures, a little bit more videos, and bring this baby home. Finally, happy to have my computer back. Thank you and see you soon.